in Toronto before getting traded to the Spurs last summer. DeRozan said yes, he's rooting for his best friend Kyle Lowry and the Raptors in the finals, but not gonna lie, it's hard watching from the sideline. DeRozan added, if it wasn't for all the years and groundwork that I did before then, none of those things would have been possible. Yes, I fought, I sacrificed, I pushed the limits to where I had to be the sacrificial lamb. Strong words. Shannon, do you think DeMar has a point there, though?
He does have a point, Skip. He deserves some credit because he's one of their star players that chose to stay as opposed to leave. Remember Vince Carter? He left. Tracy McGrady? He left. Chris Bosh? He left. He stayed. And when Toronto really had nothing but DeMar DeRozan, and then they got Kyle, they paired those guys together. But the Masai Ujiri understood that with DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry, Skip, they had a ceiling. And the ceiling was the Eastern Conference Finals. That was as far as they're going to go. And when he says he's the sacrificial lamb, he was the piece that San Antonio wanted if they wanted to receive Kawhi Leonard. Now, they rolled the dice because there's a good chance that there's a chance, better than 50-50, that Kawhi leaves. But if you win the title and Kawhi leaves and you have to give up DeMar DeRozan, how many fans in Toronto will be upset? Sometimes that's what it has to be, Skip. Sometimes you have to sacrifice something good to get something better. And Masai Ujiri was willing to roll the dice and says, I appreciate everything you've done while I was here and before I arrived here. But the opportunity to get Kawhi Leonard, a show-enough bona fide superstar that when he's healthy, he's a top 3 player, we can't pass that up, even at the risk of losing him after 1 year.
I'm sorry, I have zero sympathy for DeMar DeRozan. Zero sympathy. He should just let this go and let this be.
It's hard. He said it's hard.
He left his heart in Toronto. He's in a better place right now. He's with an even better, I think Toronto has a great organization, but he's in an even better organization. He should thank his lucky stars. He's a San Antonio
with an even less chance of going to the NBA Finals.
Okay. But I'm not buying this narrative that somehow he was the cornerstone player who made it possible through all his hard work for Toronto this year to reach the NBA Finals. Baloney. It had nothing. It's an apple to an orange, or I should say an orange to an apple.
Well, they both fruit, and they go in the fruit basket.
Okay, they both, it had zero to do with it. I'd be the first to admit number 2 is a much better basketball player than DeMar DeRozan.
Too much is.
Now, I'm stuck with DeMar DeRozan in San Antonio.
Now you stuck. Now you stuck.
Well, I'm sorry, I am. I'm stuck with him, and I never liked him because he was part of that dynamic duo in Toronto that in the playoffs became a ceramic duo.
Yes.
They were ceramic because they had fragile psyches that just splashed everywhere.
There
right?
was the ceiling.
Yeah.
But here's where he became the sacrificial lamb. He was the best player that Toronto could offer in order to acquire the services of a Kawhi Leonard. Without DeMar DeRozan, who are they going to... Greg Popovich and R.C. Buford looking like, okay, there's no DeMar DeRozan. You gonna trade Kyle Lowry and Siakam for Kawhi?
You just, they were stuck. They did the best, they took the best deal on the market they could find as long as it wasn't in the West. They had to go east.
Correct.
And they said, okay, DeMar DeRozan, he's a star. He's just not a superstar.
Right.
And he did a lot of good things for San Antonio this year. But when it comes crunch time, when you got to really depend and trust, no.
But he ain't Kawhi.
He's not that guy.
You know the Kawhi.
I don't trust that guy either.
You should have.
Yeah, but that guy is more gifted than this guy is.
But just imagine, Skip, with this roster that you had, if you had Kawhi, there's a very good chance in the NBA Finals would be coming out of San Antonio.
Except that was last year.
This year?
That was last year.
Last year,
that team was poised to make a deep run.
Let me ask you a question.
A finals
this
run.
Year,
win it all.
This year, with the way Derek White and all these guys, these young guys, you told me they rise and shine.
DeJounte Murray.
Okay, that's fine. Okay. But if you add Kawhi in this mix, with LaMarcus doing, LaMarcus, you don't think they could have, without KD at Golden State? Woo, Skip.
Okay.
Now I'd hit it every day. I'd had to hear this every day about San Antonio.
Want to know who the real sacrificial lambs were? It was last year. It was Ginobili and Parker. They were sacrificed so that this guy could quit his way out of San Antonio. They got sacrificed. They're the lambs who got sacrificed.
Skip, that means
because they were at the end of the line. They both had enough left to help carry that team to the finals.
Skip, it hurts more if you really look. If I don't really care about the job and I get fired, I don't care. I'm showing up late half the time anyway. Anyway, I'm spending half my time in the water cooler talking about somebody else behind their back anyway. But when you really love something, Skip, he loved Toronto. Think about it. All the other great players, their 3 best players that was in Toronto in their prime, they left. He stayed.
Okay.
I'm not talking about getting Akeem Olajuwon in year 17.
And it got Toronto where?
No,
it got him swept. That's what it got him. It got him swept.
I get it, but see, he could have. He's like, you know what? He could have did what they did to him. He's like, we're not gonna win here. But he said, but I want to try. The first chance they got to get out from up under him, whoop, gone. Players, see, that's what I'm talking about, players.
Okay.
Get your money. Leave when you want to leave and go somewhere else. Because what did Toronto do, Skip? They felt they could do better. They went and got a better player. So players, if you feel you can go somewhere else and win, or AD beating them to the punch.
Yeah, you know what number 2's about to do? He's about to leave Toronto high and dry.
But if he win them a title, would they be upset?
You know what? All that matters is he got them to the finals. And it was worth the try. It was a good deal for Toronto.
He might win them that title.
Okay, he just might.
Yeah.
I don't think he will.
He might.
He's going to win them game 3. I know that.
Get your predictions on game 3.
Here we go.
Coming up next. We'll be back in just a minute.